Hey folks, Kilt-Man here. Kilt-Man at your barbecuing services. How are you all? Hope you're all doing very, very well. And welcome to our Deep South Texas cookout. Fresh meat, freshly buzzsawed to your delectation. Hope you're all doing very, very well. Now, here's a wee score review for, it's just come out now, fully official, and wow, we've waited a long time for this to come out. It is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre from 1974. Tobe Hooper and Wayne Bell are the composers for this movie. Tobe Hooper, of course, wrote, created, produced, directed, edited the movie, and the rest is history. But the score itself became hugely notorious and controversial. It's music, concrete, abstract stylings, and very experimental. Noises of guttural, bizarre voices, percussion, chirruping, chirping, bizarre, droning noises. Is that a score? Some people would say. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. There's been many bootlegs of this entire score throughout the decades. And of course, it's now celebrating its 50th anniversary. So, big up your chainsaw, the chain. The chainsaw is family. The saw is family. Let's try and get the quote right, Kilt-Man. And I've had numerous versions of this score over the years. And now, thanks to WAXWORK Records, we have the actual proper full score. 40 minutes long of weirdness. And you're hearing it right now. I'm going to play you a lot of this, and it's fantastic. And you can get it. I'll tell you now. Wait for the way it go. This is on vinyl. Available for the first time in any format. Sourced from original master tapes. Hand poured coloured vinyl. You've got it on cassette as well. You've got it on, download, which of course this is what I've got, and you've got it on vinyl. It's just, oh my god, it's there. It's got everything with extensive liner notes as well by Wayne Bell, who co-composed it with Tobe Hooper. But Wayne Bell, I think, is the guy that really did the majority of the work on this. Texas Chainsaw Massacre is a film which is audacious in many ways. I've covered it a lot on the channel. You guys know this. Hence all the masks. Every single one of these masks has, when I've received them, I've done a huge review of the movie as well, just because of the mask. And I love the movie. Dark, troubled, very, very unsettling. It's a really disturbing movie, but populated by enormously fantastic performances by utter no marks who became, celebrity status, convention geeks. The big, we're gonna go to them and we're gonna queue for miles and miles and miles just to have an autograph by one of these guys who was in that movie. But they're no great actors, and yet they delivered standout performances in a really out there, oeuvre movie which broke all boundaries, caused controversy in every country, and and the ban. Well, I've discussed the ban in Britain at the time, and it kind of wasn't really banned. It could be played in certain provinces. It could be played in London at film festivals, and certain city councils could play the movie and get away with it. It was down to different councils. It was never actually genuinely banned. It wasn't like prosecuted under the DPP list of video nasties. I saw it at cinema. I have the first video version of it as well. Somewhere in this labyrinthine Kilt mansion, and I've got every version ever since released. And I love the movie, and the score is a huge part of that. The editing and the music are absolutely the power behind this movie. As with many movies, you film your movie, You go to your location, you get your casting, you do your stuff. There's your lines, you're going to do this, you direct them, blah, 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 blah. And then afterwards you go back to the editing suite and post-production. And then you have to like snap it all together and get the musical score to work in cahoots with what you're trying to deliver to the audience. And in this case, uber wow. Tobe Hooper, lightning in a bottle, really. Everything after this that he did was interesting. And I've covered a lot of his stuff as well afterwards. And even musically wise, was very, very interesting. But the approach to this movie, its pretense of being, it really happened. It didn't happen. It's based loosely upon Ed Gein, Wisconsin cannibal. It's loosely based on that, which of course Robert Bloch's Psycho is based upon, and obviously in Evolution, Hitchcock's Psycho is based upon. But Texas Chainsaw Massacre has its own niche. It's loosely based on something that, yeah, we know bits and bobs about, but they made it, this is raw and real, and they told us right from the outset in that great fucking opening narration, this actually happened, you know. It didn't happen, but people still believe it did. A lasting legacy to a movie which is just a nasty phantasmagoria of audio sensorial overload. It will blow you away. It's a tour de force of really impromptu acting and avant-garde sound design and just incredibly, well, we're gonna go there, we're gonna do this, and yet there's hardly any blood or guts on show. Amazing. Oh yeah, on a meetup, yeah, but you don't, and there's a bit of blood splatter already on the walls. People are getting chainsawed, but you don't really see anything at all. The only chainsaw and flesh, interaction is at the end of the movie when Leatherface himself, the Gunnar Hansen, the demigod of absolute, completely demented, psychopathic, hardware-wielding maniacs, actually drops his chainsaw into his own bloody leg, and he goes, oh, and clutches the wound, and a bit of blood goes, just a bit of it, like that. That's what it does. It's not a gory film. It doesn't need to be. Oh dear God, if ever a film was really repellent, repulsive, nasty, and really gets you by your, whatever your magical bits may be, it gets you by them, and twists and turns and crushes, and then yanks them off, and yet you see nothing on the screen to warrant it. It's all implied. Genius. And how is that brought about? Expert direction, expert performances, supreme editing, and the soundtrack itself. Now, as I say, soundtracks to movies can incorporate a lot of things. Pop songs, sound design, sound bites, just things which you buy. If you're a soundtrack buff and a film comes out, you hate usually the CD release or the album release, it's music from the movie. That's not what you want. You, as a film score buff, which I'm sure we all are, which is why you're here and why I keep talking to you and doing these videos, it's the movie score itself. And for a long time, you couldn't get the actual film score. That would be very limited. If it ever came out, that would be so super uber rare. You'd never get your hands on it. Of course, now there's a thriving market for it. So, I mean, know all the movie composers, the big hitters. We don't need to name all these people. But now you tend to get a movie score released for every movie. And that's the orchestral, symphonic or electronic industrial sound sort of score beyond the songs that are played in certain movies. And I love and applaud it. We are in an era now where every single movie that comes out, apart from Werewolves, which Frank Grillo, which at the moment I'm still seething about, because I haven't seen it and it hasn't been released in the UK as yet, and there's no soundtrack for it available anywhere. But relax, Kilt-Man. Drink some Lucozade. No whiskey in the hizzy. I'm still practicing the fact that I will not drink in the house. I just drink outside the house all the time. And I have done today. You can probably tell. Cheers, y'all. But now we get soundtracks to everything. Everything. It comes out. It's immediately available MP3. Amazon. I get so many scores from Amazon all the time, including this one as it transpires. But the ones I love, and this one will be one, I will get the vinyl for it. I will. Most scores, I'm looking behind you guys right now. There is hundreds right behind you, stacked up right there. And in that, the chimney breast there, the useless, completely emaciated chimney breast there is about, I don't know, 2,500 in there, which are stacked right up, and I have to like pull them and they drop down, pull them, drop down, pull them, drop down. There's some over there. They're in every room in the house. I have literally thousands upon thousands upon thousands of soundtracks on CD, and I have many hundreds, I would say, on vinyl. And there's a select few, 100 or so, on cassette. I don't play cassettes. I can do. I have the means to play them, but I don't play them. I just don't play them. I mean, and the thing is, like, this now been released on cassette as well, on vinyl, download, and CD and cassette. People love to go back to the vintage, and that's great. The 80s cassettes. Well, gets real long on that, but like video cassettes. So you're now getting VHS recordings of movies. The fuck, and there are some which are genuinely put on VHS, but there's a lot which is housed in VHS cassette boxes, and I kind of get that. But what, you're gonna play them? Really? It's a collector's market, and it's also a marketing and distributors companies market. We're going to put these things out in defunct systems, but these dickheads are still going to buy them anyway. And a lot of you are, because I have to have it. I have to have every version. I've been there, I've done that. I'm 55 years old. I've been through all of the home video medium, all the musical medium as well. I have a system there, an old system, a Ferguson 3072, which plays 78s, and it can play any version of a record, no matter what width it is, at whatever speed it needs to be played at. There's not many things that can do that these days. Even though it's only mono, and a lot of you guys have seen it, it throws out a walloping wall of sound from a mono speaker, and it goes up to like 13 on the dial Spinal Tap here. Well, mine goes to 14. I could make it do that, but it throws out one hell of a lot of sound at one, and then you notch it up a bit, and it's just your rib cage is rattling, your heart's in your face, the windows are bulging out of the foundations and the settings, your roof is coming off, traffic outside is being overturned. It's that powerful, and that's mono, the power of mono. Mono meaning the one, mono also meaning, if you're into your Ouija boards and you're into all that kind of occult stuff, mono, the one, the devil. Anyway, that's a lengthy introduction to this fabulous score, which has finally now been released officially by WAXWORK Records. It has existed many times, many places, all over the world, in bootlegs. And I've got many. Nothing compares to this. Tobe Hooper and Wayne Bell co-composed this score, and they worked with all sorts of weird percussion, guitars, and I've got it here now. This, hang on, let's do it. A stand-up bass, an old 5-string K upright double bass, a Fender lap steel guitar, and lots of percussion. Children's musical instruments, a dulcimer, and any old bits of metal we could find and bash and crash and stretch out and warp, record it, and then just change it in the mastering of it. That's what they did. Didn't have a long time to do it. Texas Chainsaw was filmed a whip crack sort of shooting schedule, and they went beyond it anyway. The editing was a huge thing. I said before, what makes a horror movie, any movie, but horror movies maybe specifically, is editing and sound design. And of course, the sound design for this movie, I knew something fell over. It was this wee commando here who's attacking Leatherface. He was overcome with the stench of human flesh face mask. He just passed out. Musique concrete. It's a French abstract conversation of musical delivery, where it's just droning noise. It's making any instrument just stretch it out to do just the most bizarre noises, not melody. Melody is not there, it's not allowed. Do not let that interfere with what you're doing. And Wayne Bell, who you've got Tobe Hooper, who is the big progenitor of Texas Chainsaw Massacre and a real creative genius, of course. But I don't really think he was the editor-in-chief of the music and the movie itself. But also, I think Wayne Bell is the guy that really brought this soundscape, this density of frightening noises and sound design to the movie. I don't think it was Tobe Hooper to the degree that Wayne Bell was involved, and he brought all those instruments plus many more, suspended cymbals, and the major thing, which the flash bang at the start, John Larroquette's opening narrative. I hope I got the name right there. About this really happened, and it's the flash bulb, the old vintage sort of reporters with their big Polaroid cameras and the multiple flashes on top, and that whining noise. Wow, I could not have organised that better. If I tried to time that, it would never happen. But it fucking happened there. You were there, you heard that. That's what he did. And while we're on that sound effect there, what Wayne Bell says in multiple interviews, he's like, look, only I know what made that sound effect. And everyone's like, well, but wasn't it a flash bulb? No, I made that sound effect using instruments. All right, well, what really? I'll take that to the grave. Now, he did tell Tobe Hooper, who was working with him, editing and doing the movie and the soundtrack as well, in a rented house in Austin, Texas, and he had an old flatbed editing suite which Tobe Hooper just happened to have. So they're editing it on the fly, basically. And in the other room, they've got like pianos and all sorts of weird stuff. Think bash bits of metal and just create sound effects. But so like I told Tobe Hooper what we used to make that sound effect, that flashbulb whine. And in interviews, he tried to tell people what, this is Tobe Hooper, tried to tell people what it was, and he was like, no, you got it wrong. You've not remembered. So I'll take that secret to the grave. Oh, I will. He's not Scottish, but you know. But that's what he said. And although, let's be honest, unless you're using genuinely a vintage flash bulb camera to get that sound effect, which you won't get it from that. I'm going to say right here and now, it's the dulcimer. I know they used the dulcimer in the movie, the score, and it's in a lot of different elements. It's a 5-string or 6-stringed instrument. It's connected to, it's from the family of the zither, Anton Karas, the third man. It's that family of instruments. But that high-pitched whine can be done by strings, and I think that's what he's done. And Wayne Bell did say, someone interviewed him again, I think only recently as well, about the score. I say recently, about 2015 perhaps. And he said, well, what is that bit of music? Oh, I'm wrong, it was Gunnar Hansen. Gunnar Hansen, you say? Leatherface himself? Yes. Gunnar Hansen wrote a book on the making of Texas Chainsaw Massacre and his role in the movies. And he wanted to interview Wayne Bell, composer, and discuss with him about the score for the movie. And he said, like, about that signature, because without a doubt, that signature whine at the start of the film, chainsaws, screams, breaking glass, you know, blood-curdling howls and gibbers of horror, and brash, discordant, weird industrial noise effects are the soundtrack, without a doubt. But you ask anyone about Texas Chainsaw Massacre, what do you think about that movie? Well, chainsaws and that at the start of the movie, everybody nails that, because it's a horrible sound, because it's juxtaposed with an opening horrible narration, and you've got corpses strung up in a cemetery, just propped up, and desiccated bones and horrible, just grisly artifacts of human remnants presented as trophies, and a tableau of art, and the press photography is there, but it's done so well. It sits right in here. It gets right in. It drills in. It's right in there. So we asked about this. So like, yeah, well, I told Tobe Hooper about it, and and he got it wrong. And the guy said, well, what is it then? He said, well, shut your eyes then. So again, it's Gunnar Hansen. He said, shut your eyes right now, and I can make that noise for you right now, but you can't look what I'm doing, alright? So Gunnar Hansen puts his hands over his eyes. You're gonna chainsaw me, are you? I'm the chainsaw freak. I am Leatherface. And he fabricated, he created that sound effect right before Gunnar Hansen. He went, oh shit, that's right. And then obviously Wayne Bell threw whatever he was using to one side. Some would say, it's just a fucking flashbulb. He's got that, because they do make that noise. But it's how to make that and stretch out. The dulcimer is what he used. He just picked up a dulcimer. I mean, he knew what chord to strike. I mean, and hit it behind him. Nothing to see here, Gunnar. Nothing to see here. But it is bizarre and iconic sound. Of course, he would actually mimic the chainsaw as well. musically, with obviously you've got, what is it again? The 5-string K upright double bass and the Fender lap steel guitar. A lot of steel, and they would record just bits of metal. Let's record this and like stretch it out. It's metal, isn't it? You heard that right then and there. That was a clean version without the wing, the extra bit. But that's what it was. That's the dulcimer. That's the dulcimer. If I'm wrong, someone will obviously let me know. But I'm going with it. I'm going with the dulcimer. And wow, outstanding sound effect it genuinely is. So they would do all this weird stuff. Like a prepared piano is a piano, and Jerry Goldsmith did this a lot in many, not just Jerry Goldsmith, but many composers in movie scores. And it's where you unhinge and loosen or tighten beyond their extremity, the piano strings. And so they're playing beyond their normal tonal range. So they sound bizarre. First Blood does a lot of prepared piano stuff. Goldsmith, with his action scores, certainly during the 80s, or the 70s and 80s and then beyond, but he did a lot of electronica as well. But prepared piano really brought a really, you knew it was piano, but you're like, how does a piano make that noise? It's like, wow. And so, although there's no piano in this score for Texas Chainsaw, but it's the same sort of thing. Let's take like those instruments I mentioned before, and let's just mess around with them, and then we're going to record them, and then I'm going to manipulate them, and vintage style electronica and like what you could do back in those days. And Jesus Christ, there we go. You see what I'm getting at? A flash photography bulb does make that noise, but not like that. What they've done, they've accentuated it, extended it, and made it more. Oh, it's oh God, what the hell? I'm looking at horrible imagery, and so visually it's nasty. Audio-wise, it's even nastier. It's brilliant, isn't it? Listen to the shuffling as well. That's shuffling on a fretboard, and also there's lots of other instrumentation. He said like any bit of metal that we could find, we would hit it, smash it, rub stuff against it, just create noises, and then we would manipulate it. And again, very vintage sort of style as well. It's a dark, satanic, bizarre, industrial, complete mindfuck of a score. And as I say, it's been long awaited. A lot of you going like, well, that's not music to me. Oh, I'll stop talking and we'll play bits properly, but a lot of people will go like, well, that's not music, that's just the sound design. Both Tobe Hooper and Wayne Bell, so like, well, there's a grey area between score and musique concrète. Musique concrète was a French abstract style of making music, and I've got many examples in movies. Christopher Young, the great Christopher Young, has done it a few times, most notably for Tobe Hooper in Invaders from Mars, 1985, 86, I forgot what year it was now, for Cannon Golden Globus. And he was asked, can you do, Tobe said, like, I want a really bizarre score. It's a remake of the original Invaders from Mars from 1950s. I said, okay, yeah, I can do that, yeah. And he created this really out there, avant-garde, fucking absolutely bizarre Gregorian chant based, but just like this, dense industrial drones and ominous hums and things and going on. And they went like, that's kind of like what we're after, but not quite right. And the film then got re-edited, and it dropped a lot of scenes, it got completely reconstructed, and they went like, well, your score does not now fit our movie, so can you do another score? And he went, oh shit. So he tried again with another, like this, avant-garde, music concrete. Music concrete basically means like music, but it's concrete, so it's set. It's just like, there's no like lifts and melody going on. It's just completely set in stone or concrete, and things are worming their way through. And then he went, oh, still not working. So they brought in another composer called David Storrs. Can you do something similar to what he's done, but make it fit the movie? And he came up with something even more bizarre. And I've played all this to you before on the channel. And he came up with something, because they're all brilliant. If you like that kind of thing, they're outstanding scores. They're not in the, or bits of them are in the movie. And they went, shit, this is not working. Christopher Young, your music concrete score doesn't work. David Storrs, your score doesn't work. Chris, can you please do something a bit more symphonic? So Chris went, oh, fucking hell. Right, bring an orchestra in. Let's do it. And he created like a 36-minute score for the movie, which is all jubilant, and it's orchestral. It's symphonic. All the band, all the orchestra are in there. Violins and the woodwinds and everything's there. And it's great. And that's in the movie. But there are bits of the avant-garde stuff as well. Now, this is purely the avant-garde stuff. Wayne Bell will say that we're not doing music concrete. Music concrete. That sounds more Italian than French, but it is what it is, and it's very, very music concrete, but with a far more just thrown in, random, scary, just look. You think we're going, we're just tonally just drifting here, and then we're going to throw in like a kitchen sink with lots of spanners whacked around the taps, which I'm sure they bloody well did for this. And we're going to throw it in there as well. Anything to disquiet and unsettle the audience. And the thing about the score for this, I mean, I'm talking all the way over it, of course, I know I am. Ooh, there's some depth there as well. When poor Kirk, wanders in to the house, and like suddenly confronts Leatherface. Oh! Fucking ball peen hammer, poof! And it's he's doing the dying fish. Gets dragged in, and the steel shutter gets dragged back across, and you're like, what have I just seen? What have I just seen? In fact, we have. Well, I could probably get to the music right here. It will be in this sequence here. I'm sure it'll be here somewhere. And it's like when the steel shutter goes, and you're left like, oh God, what happened? And there's a shocked reverie, a reverb of reverie and trauma, which you're left with. What have I just seen? And then of course you get Sally will get up from the swing chair with that great shot where the camera goes under the swing chair and you see the blue sky in the house, and it's like it's almost like the Jaws wraparound reverse zoom. It's kind of similar to that, not the same technique, but it looks just as good because ass in hot pants and the blue sky and the house that she's going towards where Kirk's just been done in, and she's going to go in there, and the way the camera pulls back and you watch it and it goes under the seat, it's just phenomenal stuff. super, super creative. I thought it was playing that bit. The track titles are very, very bizarre. Main title, Warnings, Medley, Joe Bill, Cemetery Warning, Gas Station Sun, The Sunspots. Cuts Medley, Feedlot, Hitchhiker's Razor, of course, you know, yeah. Outside Grandpa's, in brackets The Mark, Inside Grandpa's, Bones. Menace Medley, What Kirk and Pam Don't Know, Pam's Foreboding. Jerry X, Leatherface Worries, because of what he's just done, and he sees his little tongue licking out from his mask, and he's like holding his head. He just killed people. I'm like, oh shit, how am I going to explain this? Very badly, because he can't speak, can he? Trouble Moon, Distant Disturbance Sketch 1, Close-Up Problem Sketch 2, Franklin X, But Then, Sally Awakens for Dinner to the End. Then you got End Titles and Descent Sketch 3. Well, we're going to go straight on to Sally Awakens. Marilyn Burns, outstanding. How many times does she plunge through glass in this? Well, it's twice. But you know, I've been through glass, by the way. I think several more times than that. And a couple of times impromptu, shouldn't have gone through, fell through, and then was thrown through, not the same incident. And then a time where I had to get out through window, and you have to find some. You'll be ripped to shreds. A normal window, a bay window, normal house glass. It's going to cut you to ribbons. You've got to find something. You've got to smash that glass first, and you've got to protect yourself. So you grab a seat cushion and you grab whatever, a curtain, and go through the curtain and help the cushion, or you grab a particular person and leap yourself through with them first. You'll still get cut. You're cascading glass cuts you. You know, you think, oh, the speed you're going through, it's going to just spiral away from you. No, it seems to find you. It's heat-seeking fucking glass. Razor shards of nastiness will find you. Shut your eyes, clench your teeth, and fucking just fold your head in, let your back absorb it. Where am I going with this? Kilt-Man's top tips for like escaping from bizarre enclaves of captivity. If there's a window, you can get through it. You break it first and then get out. Sally is now at the dinner table. They're all there. One of the most shocking and prolonged scenes of, you would now call it torture porn. And yet, I despise torture porn movies. I hate them. Hate them. There's no suspense, I don't care about anyone, because they're just done for like shock effect and just to like upset you. Well, you know, it takes a lot more than that to upset me. I'm fucking bored and annoyed by that really childish maneuver cinematically. Tobe Hooper started it with this, but bloody hell does it work. Why does it work? Because you actually like, bizarrely, the family, you know, these cannibals, these fucking weirdos, because they're funny. They're a dysfunctional family. It's a satire. You've got to remember, Texas Chainsaw Massacre is, at its grassroots level, it's a horrific satire on American families. And of course, Texas Chainsaw Part 2, which I love. A lot of people don't like it. I think it's fantastic. It's a satire on commercialism, of course, like George Romero would do, and small town America, trying to make a buck or two. by feeding off its own population. It's fucking genius. I love the first two Texas Chainsaw movies are genius. Second one is a black comedy. The first one is bizarrely humorous, although it's hard to believe that. But you watch it again now, and you got with your more hardened sensibilities, and you go, oh shit, I see what you're doing there. But at the time, dulcimer, or is that the Fender? Very metallic and like twisted, all manipulated. All the animal voices which you hear, that is, oh my god, I did know this. It's someone's dad. I can't remember who it is. Is it Tobe Hooper's dad? I think it's Wayne Bell's dad does the voices. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But someone, you know, when Sally goes into the house after Kirk's been done in, and she will meet a meat hook. And you've got the chicken in the bird cage, you've got the bone encrusted furniture, feathers everywhere. It's fucking nightmarish. And I forgot where we're going with that. But the sound effects there, all like, and like you've got guttural noises as well. You've got voices of pigs, and it's someone's dad is literally doing those voices, and of course they put it into a primitive system. The Moog was out then. They did have a Moog there, if I remember rightly, and Wayne Bella said what Moog it was, but they used that. Obviously, you know, an early emulated as well. So it was everything was all real sounds, but just manipulated. But how edgy is all this? Listen. Suspended cymbals. These will be like hung and then brushed or slightly impacted, and the shimmering will just, the percussive element will just shimmer for a long time. And then of course you can obviously put it into a system and then stretch it out, and they did that of course with a lot of the score. They would stretch out notes and chords and then obviously put other things in. What Tobe Hooper had in the house they rented in Austin, Texas, they had an old Steinbeck, which was like a flatbed, everything sweet. And then the last, that's it's very bubbly, that stuff. So they had not much time to edit the movie, and as I said before, and I'll reinforce this, a film's power is in its editing and its scoring. You make those two mesh and work and ignite the high points of an action scene or a drama scene, and suddenly you've got something which isn't there with just putting the cameras in front of actors delivering lines. It's not the same. You want impact, you want, you know, intensity. And with this is a real tour de force and a pure example of how editing and sound design really works. Again, sound design, what one person's movie score is to another person's sound design is up to them. What I will say is this: you may not think that that's not a movie score, that's not John Williams, that's not James Horner, that's not Max Steiner. No, it isn't. It's not Basil Polidoris. That was Boris Polidoris. It's not like that. But the thing is, they had not much time to come up with that score and the editing, and they had to be more creative. So a composer writes, crafts and creates a score orchestra's there, and they play it a lot of times to a screen showing the movie. So they're performing the music to the screen, and your composer is there, and he's often conducting, or he's in the mixing suite. That's great, and that's, I mean, God, I love that. But that is not greater than two guys in a room with lots of industrial sounds and effects, and they're trying to mix it, put it together, and stretch out notes and chords and sounds and twangs. That takes as much dedication to create the desired effect as it does for a composer to create a big symphonic score. You may argue with that, and I'm a massive devotee more of orchestral scores, but I love my electronic scores. John Carpenter, come on, minimal, powerful. And things like this work. It depends on the movie, of course. I mean, listen to it. It's hardly, lyrical. It's hardly like, you're gonna hum this afterwards, aren't you? Like, you got come on the movie and you're humming the main theme of Gladiator. Everyone was humming Hans Zimmer's main score for Gladiator. And why not? But I love things like this as much, and I play them to myself as much as I do the full bombastic symphonic stuff. So I will massively plug this, and I would say urge you all to go out and buy it. That sounds like a massively endorsed by WAXWORK Records, which I'm not, of course. I am not. But I've been in the pub only today with this playing. Ashadine, you're out there. I told you I was playing. Well, I didn't tell you what I was playing, but I told you I was playing something avant-garde and bizarre and experimental, and it's a long-awaited Holy Grail. This has been available in bootlegs of shit quality for decades, but now in its 50th anniversary, WAXWORK Records got hold of this, and they got Wayne Bell to actually go back to the let's go on to this. Did I read it out before? I think I did, but let's do it again. In 2023, the original film score master tapes were discovered and then privately held at the Harry Ransom Center. Privately held Harry Ransom. They're held for ransom in Austin, Texas, for preservation. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre's co-composer Wayne Bell painstakingly worked to have these original source material master tapes safely transferred. Bell then personally worked to construct and mix the newly transferred official Texas Chainsaw Massacre score for a cohesive listening experience. The score was then mastered by Thomas DiMuzio at Gench Mastering. So this is the closest you're ever going to get to the original score. It is the original score. It's remastered from the original master tapes, the source material, and then made more cohesive and better for a listening experience with modern technology. But it's still the original score. The industrial noise you can hear now, maybe you can hear it, is my wife now drying her hair. She's come out of a luxurious bath and she's now drying her hair. Listen, let's go back to that. The crunching, the movements, a bit of voice there. Now, if Wayne Bell was to be believed, that is not flash photography. But I think that's the dulcimer, and he's managed to manipulate those strings and just dulcimer can do that. So, the secret to his grave. I've sushed you, lad. I know nothing. Oh, it does say here, non-traditional instruments such as suspended cymbals, aluminium saucepans, a children's toy percussion set, various wildlife calls, whistles, shakers and more. Because voices are used as well. Wildlife calls, whistles and shakers, but percussion, you know, like there's gongs. That's probably a saucepan there. Saucepan's maybe quarter, filled with water, gonged, bong, yeah. I do think, whether you can hear it or not, the hairdryer is now adding its own element of domestic violence, of discord to this. Halloween party. I've told you before, we first moved into the Kilt mansion, and of course we now know it's massively haunted anyway. Well, I dropped a huge bombshell there, did I not? It's massively haunted, but when we had the huge 120 more people turn up all in full costume, and we had corpses and body parts, not real obviously, and we back onto the cemetery as well. Hey, it's great. And we had everything was all over the place. I had music, horror soundtracks playing in every single room. So people go upstairs, go to the toilet, go for a bit of a ooh la la. I know it happened. I know who you are as well. I was involved in one. No. But I had music playing in every single room, all different movie soundtracks, and a lot of them, they were cassettes as well, and CDs playing, all different portable players in every single room, and it was amazing. Generally, it was a pure Orlando and Universal and Disney Haunted Mansion. You got fucking nothing. You got nothing on this place on what I could do. Nothing at all. All you need is this, to be honest. This playing. You'll unsettle and scare the shit out of all your guests. And then what you want to do is rev up a chainsaw. Yeah, that's it. Party's over. Fuck off. Every time. I'll have words with Mrs. Kilt-Man about this. I won't. Mrs. Kilt-Man rules. But, folks, this is now available on vinyl. Let's go through it again. What you can get for its 50th anniversary, the first time it's ever been officially available. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original motion picture score by Tobe Hooper and Wayne Bell. A deluxe vinyl set featuring hand-poured you can hear cymbals and pots and pans there, can't you? Right. Give me a fucking second. Right, bollocks to you. A deluxe vinyl set featuring hand-poured coloured vinyl, heavyweight gatefold jackets with a printed inner flood, exclusive liner notes by co-composer Wayne Bell. I think he's the main instigator of the score, if I'm honest. And the 11 by 11 inch 12-page booklet with production and behind the scenes photography and full album design by Steve Reeves. Oh, fuck this. I'm going to buy this as well. Oh, God. I just got the download. Look at what you get with that. Oh, it just tells you the same thing again afterwards. But you can get it, and it says here somewhere. I'm sure I read it before. She stopped. Her hair is now dry. I'm sure it's on cassette, it's on vinyl, it's on CD, and it obviously a digital download. So, folks, all I can say is get it, because it's fucking amazing. Cymbals, saucepans, kitchen sink, voices, and someone rubbing a flannel in someone's face. Everything to be unsettling and nasty and dislocate you from reality. Isn't it great? I hope I'm not alone in thinking this. If you guys are still here, you know, please do comment below and say like, I'm getting it. I'm getting what you're saying, Kilt-Man, and I'm gonna get it as well. Yeah, I'm gonna buy it. I get not. I'm promoting this, but it's because I love it. If you buy it or not, I get nothing in return for it. I'm just putting it out there that I fucking love this. It's a classic movie which I genuinely adore. It's powerful. It has some of the greatest shocks ever. And the greatest conclusion as well, because she gets away, but she's totally insane. I don't care what came afterwards. It really matters not. The original movie is the pinnacle, and you've got like a hitchhiker's been hit by the truck, boof, and that's it. Leatherface has been hit with a big fucking spanner, boom, 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 and put a chain to his own leg, and then he runs after them, and she gets into a pickup truck. The driver manages to just run down the fucking highway, and she gets away, and she's howling, drenched in blood, howling, I've got to escape, and he's doing, you know, this is chainsaw twirl, and that's the voice of Leatherface, is the chainsaw. The guy can't communicate. He's not part of society. So the chainsaw is, the saw is family, but the chainsaw is his voice, it's his personality. He has nothing else. What the hell was that? What the hell did they use to make that noise there? A massive jar of glass of grasshoppers, and they put it under, you know, a gas burner and heated them up. And I love this deep, just bellicose, reverbing, sort of bouncing, almost like the biggest toad ever, just his stomach rumbling. It's not the biggest toad you've ever heard. He was hungry. So, There you go. Saucepan. Without a doubt. '50th anniversary of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. We've had so many anniversary releases of movies over the last few years, but Texas Chainsaw it looms large. It's early. Night of the Living Dead, Exorcist, The Omen, Evil Dead, The Thing. I mean, once you hit the late 70s and into the 80s, it's just they're ten a penny. Every single year there's about 20 bloody 30 anniversaries of a great classic horror movie. But from '74, well, you know, I was just doing the fucking whine of the flash bulbs. The dulcimer, folks. If you're out there, Wayne Bell, I've got you sussed. You just picked up a dulcimer and you worked it out. It is a dulcimer. I've got you sussed. Not quite a pretty woman, really. Right, folks. I have been and always shall be Kilt-Man. Please, in the meantime, as ever, you know, head cheesing in between time. Please keep it Celtic, keep it Celtic. Isn't it great? You imagine walking into a room, a dark room, at Halloween party, and like that's all you hear. Like, whoa. And then someone starts up a chainsaw. That's a good night out, especially in Kilt-Man, you know. Right, folks, please just be happy, be healthy. It's Christmas time, the time of this recording anyway. So just enjoy yourselves, be festive, and you've got to eat. You may as well eat people. Who cares? Just anyone hitchhiking, bring them in. You know, poor Franklin, the most annoying cunt ever in movies, and he genuinely is. And you feel sorry for him as well. He's in a wheelchair. And then he gets chainsawed to bits. But the thing is, you're dead sympathetic, but he's an annoying bastard as well. Just because you have a physical impairment, which we feel sympathetic towards, doesn't make you impervious to being a complete annoying twat at the same time. And he is. And that's genius again in the story. It's great. They're very realistic people. Oh yeah, sorry. I was leaving, wasn't I? Yeah, I'm leaving. We will talk more about Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I've talked about it loads in the past, but we'll talk more, I'm sure. But in the meantime, WAXWORK Records have put out the original motion picture score from Tobe Hooper and Wayne Bell. Again, Tobe becomes first, but I think it's Wayne Bell who's the main mover and shaker of this. He said they were just jamming basically all the time. Dulcimers and what's that thing called again? 5-string K upright double bass and a Fender lap steel guitar. I don't know what that is. It's a lap steel guitar. That's good. And tons of percussion. We said like we're just having fun. We didn't know what we were doing. Just like making noises, and then it was in the manipulation of the noises and the sounds they were creating. That's where the creativity came in. Let's just let this do its thing. It's disturbing as hell, isn't it? It takes you out of yourself. These are the sort of scores and music concrete and sound design which they're a trip. You haven't got to smoke or anything, you haven't got to shoot up anything, you haven't got to drink. Just dark room, put your earphones, not even them, just have your speakers playing this, and like, wow. That's a comforting thought, isn't it? But remember, it's a piece of history. You can't get this, you couldn't get this in this quality before now. It's only just happened now, in the last week or so, it's come out. So there you go. Right folks, I am definitely going now, because I'm fucking starving and I need some head cheese.